Hey there, let's talk for a minute about how fabulous Usborne and Kay Miller books are for reading aloud to your children. Whether it's a fairy tale, like the ones that can be found in our Grimm's Fairy Tale collection. These are illustrated throughout, not tons of illustration, but still enough that it draws the reader in. And what I like is with the Grimm's one, it's not the Disney version, so they're a little bit different, maybe even a little darker, but some older kids and even boys will enjoy those. Or if you're reading to a younger one, we have fairy tales like Beauty and the Beast with our peek inside. All of these beautiful cutouts and the wonderful colors and illustrations. There's even some flaps and neat little things where you can peek inside. So these are great for telling those fairy tales. Another option would be our muddle and match. With these, you have the chance to read the story correctly with all of the alliteration, and then allow the child to muddle the story up, have different parts, and it's a silly picture, and then of course the story will still read correctly but with a lot more silliness to it, so kids love that. Another one that kids love would be Nibbles. Nibbles the book monster. He eats his way into popular fairy tales like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And you'll see that Nibbles finds his way, here it is, into the pages of this story. So you have a story within a story. A really neat idea, lots of fun for kids. There's the Little Red Riding Hood, Jack and the Beanstalk, and by the end, our Nibbles character here has escaped. We even have a plush that goes with this one, so fun to be had with this picture book here. Another one that would be a neat one to work on together would be Story Path. Instead of a typical story, this one builds, and they can choose their own adventure more or less. So at the beginning you have your characters once upon a time, you allow the child to choose and to follow the path, and then the story builds. One day they were riding along on there and they get to pick what they were riding on, and again it goes on with lots of good story elements, different questions to ask down here. So the story is never the same, but lots of fun. We also have great picture books like our How the Camel Got His Hump. These are the padded cover. You have some beautiful illustrations again, and a fun story about how the camel got his hump that come from Rudyard Kipling's stories that he created for his daughter to explain various things, and they're a lot of fun to read. We have other storybook collections like Animal Stories for Bedtime in here. Again, great illustrations throughout. And I'll show you some of the options that come with this one. The Town Mouse and the Country Mouse, stories like that. So you can see the table of contents there. So a great option. And then finally, one that is a lot of fun, Night Night on the Farm. What I love about this one is you have your story here, but then you can see that it's reading here to its little ones, and you pull this out, and here is a book inside the book. How neat is that? And there are 4 times that happens with the sheep here, and then you pull that out and there's another little story. So something fun that you could use at bedtime. So I hope you found some that you love, just like we have at my house.